Hi and welcome to this brief on the white paper. This is for PADU 630 local government, and it's a resource for the signature assignment which is due in week 8. When we talk about a white paper, what we're talking about is a background paper. It's authoritative and informative in nature. It contains an argument or position on a specific idea or problem. Almost always it will include a solution proposition that is defended. It is written for a decision-making audience or for a specific constituency. The white paper focuses on the needs of the reader, not necessarily your expertise or your specialty. However, your expertise and specialty is what makes the white paper so important. And although it frustrates people sometimes, there really is no specific page count that makes a white paper. The white papers in this MPA program come in 3 parts. Part 1 contains the title page, the table of contents, an executive summary if needed. Part 2, or the main narrative, includes the introduction, background of the problem, the solution proposition, and the conclusion. Part 3 are all the closing elements, an appendix if needed, always a reference or works cited page, and an index if needed. Once again, there is no specific page requirement as far as the count goes. APA format is always required. So let's take a look at some of the more crucial components of the paper. The introduction. In your introduction, you need to cover the main points. You're setting the tone for your reader. It's a very brief narrative that lets your audience understand or know why you're writing, what your goals are, what they can expect, what you're asking them to understand and do. In the introduction, you give your first impression as the authority or the specialist on the subject matter. One thing to keep in mind is in your introduction is where you craft the scope of your issue and your paper. This is not only important for your reader, but it's important for you, the writer. You don't have to include anything that does not fit within that scope, and you also should not exclude anything that is necessary to the scope. The background or the problem or issue statement. We ask a lot of this component. It needs to be a very narrow but sufficient element that gives what is needed to understand and decide. Remember, you're writing to a specific audience for a specific reason. They must understand what you're suggesting, what you're trying to show them, and then you're asking them to decide. Never leave any information out that's important. Information or data that is important to the process or to their decision making must be included. At the same time, don't include anything that is unneeded. In this portion, you do further your voice and your establishment as the legitimate authority or specialist on the topic. All the time, the reader will be asking themselves, why should I listen to the person who's writing? In this portion of the paper, characterize the problem or the issue and the information you present in it for the reader's perspective, not your own. Make sure to refrain from articulating any issues or ideas, any evidence that is not covered in the scope of the issue that you have indicated. This confuses the reader, it complicates their decision-making process, and depending on what realm you use this paper for, you may be inadvertently indicating as an authority your position or your idea on something that's unrelated. The solution proposition. Almost all white papers will have a solution proposition. You must take a position either on behalf of yourself, the expert, or on the behalf of the organization that you represent. Either way, the solution must be clear. It must be a very clear solution that is supported by what's been included in the white paper. Good solutions are plausible, effective, efficient, and within the scope of jurisdiction or authority of the decision maker, and they are in the interest of the constituency. Your conclusion. This part of your white paper must be a succinct review of the necessary details of the paper, including an emphasis on the problem and the solution. In short, the conclusion capstones the classic tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you've told them structure that most of us are familiar with. The conclusion should include a review of the proposed solution. Let's talk about references really quickly. The final third of your paper will include a reference page or a works cited page. Depending on the paper, you may or may not be required to include an appendix or an index. But this paper will always require a reference page. All sources should be cited and referenced, listed appropriately in the most current APA form. The requirement of current APA format is both for the body of the paper and the reference page. So this is your brief on the white paper. If you still need help, not a problem. We're here to help you. You have options: the Online Writing Center, the Brandman Librarian. There's a website called Purdue OWL. The link has been placed in the Blackboard shell for your convenience. Ask your professor. Consult the syllabus and the assignment sheet. We're here for your success, and anything that we can do to assist you with writing your white paper, we will do. You just have to reach out. So have fun with your topic, work hard on writing the white paper, and look forward to getting that good grade.